Hello and welcome to PMPLounge.com. Today we are going over some of the common names that should be a part of your PMP brain dump. We have an entire playlist on PMP exam tips and we've covered PMP brain dump, how your PMP brain dump should look like in that video. Also, recently we did a video on the 17 formulae that should be a part of your PMP brain dump. Those are actually the only 17, 17, not 70. So 17 formulae that needs to be a part of your PMP brain dump. And those are actually the only 17 formulae that you need to learn to be able to clear your PMP exam. Today we are going over a list of common names. These are pretty much the end all in terms of the list of the names that you should know in order to clear your PMP. And as we go over this list, I will also sort of kind of try to chime in and tell you the kind of questions you can expect in your PMP exam. So let's get started. These are some of the common names that you should learn by heart, and these should be a part of your PMP brain dump. Stages of team development. The Tuckman ladder model. The Tuckman model, there are a few names of this, but there are 5 stages: forming, storming, norming, performing, adjourning. And the kind of question you can kind of expect in the exam is there could be a certain scenario of where the team is, what the team is doing with each other, and you might be asked of which stage from the Tuckman ladder model is the team currently at. So not just so I mean learning these names, it's important, but then you also need to understand what they stand for, what their meanings are, and if there is a certain scenario of what the team is doing right now, what activity they are in. Let's say they are doing a great job together, or let's say they are kind of having arguments over and over again. So what exactly is the stage that the team is at? So that's a kind of question you can kind of expect from this Tuckman model. Types of power of a project manager. So there are 5 types of power: legitimate, reward, expert, referent, coercive, or punishment power. So these are the 5 kinds of power each project manager possesses. And of course, a question could be that you just rewarded your team member for his great job. What kind of power did you display? Of course, it was a reward power, right? So these are the kind of questions that you can expect. So again, not just learning all the names, the common names, the list, but you also need to understand what these PARs stand for. 7 basic quality tools. So there are 7 of these. Cause and effect diagram, which is also known as YY diagram or a fishbone diagram. You've got flowcharts, check sheets, Pareto diagrams, histograms, control charts, and scatter diagrams. So these are the 7 basic quality tools. A type of question that you can expect in the exam is there could be 4 options, and one of these would be missing in it. So let's say you've got a question that says which of the following is not a quality tool, and they'll give you cause and effect diagram, flowcharts, check sheets, and anything else. Let's say uh, something that we studied in the previous slide of this video, right? Forming. So cause and effect diagram, flowcharts, check sheets, and forming. Which of these 4 is not a quality tool? So of course, forming is not a quality tool. So like I said earlier, it's important to learn all these names. And if you have these names in your brain dump, when a question like this comes up, you can simply refer to your brain dump. You don't have to recall, you don't have to think, you don't have to remember. Simply refer to your brain dump, and you will be able to make out that forming is not a type of quality tool. Seven reasons of conflicts on projects. So, a lot of times, a lot of projects receive, are part of certain conflicts, and these are the major reasons. Number one reason is the project schedule itself, right? The development team would say the time that they have is not enough to complete the development work. The testing team would say the time that they have for completing testing is not enough, right? There could be dependencies, there could be people wanting to have other team complete their job first as they have a dependency on them and stuff like that. So there are a lot of dependencies. All of this is by and large a conflict of the project schedule. Project priorities for the testing team, of course, testing is the priority. For the development team, completing the code on time could be a priority. So project priorities differ amongst different teams, and that's why it's important. um, it's an important thing basically, and that is why it is also a cause of conflicts on the project. Human resources. So certain engineers are extremely popular because of their knowledge and skills, right? So each project manager, every project manager would want these kind of engineers working on their projects, and human resources tends to be a reason of conflicts. You've got technical opinions, of course. When you are surrounded by technical people, all of them supposed to have their own opinions, and this is a reason of conflict. Administrative procedures, of course, the process of a company. Personality conflicts, and cost and budget. So these are the seven reasons of conflicts on projects. You can learn these, you can jot them down in your brain dump. Questions that you can expect out of the exam is similar to the one that I cited previously, right? There could be a question wherein you might be asked which of the following is not a reason of conflict, and three from this screen right now, three will be there, one will be something else, and you need to tick that something else out. Conflict management styles now make sense, right? We just spoke about the reasons for conflict. So let's try to understand what are the conflict management styles. Of course, at the end of the day, you are the project manager and you need to make sure that conflicts do not rise and conflicts do not kind of result in hampering your project progress. So these are some of the conflict management styles: withdraw or avoid, compromise, smoothen or accommodate, collaborating, confront or problem solving, and force. So, of course, some of these are pretty self explanatory. You can see and understand that. Confronting or problem solving is basically kind of taking the problem head on, and this is one of the best ways of managing conflicts. So there are certain times question in the exam wherein you'll see all four of these and the question would ask you which of these is the best or the worst form of managing conflict. Of course, forcing a conflict resolution is probably the worst, right? Or confronting and solving the problem is probably the best form of managing conflicts. So learn the names of these conflict management styles. But like I said previously, not just the names, but you also need to know what these names stand for, what these conflict management styles really are. Moving on. Risk response strategies, risk management is my personal favorite, and there are certain risk response strategies that a project manager has or the project team has when they foresee a risk. So you can avoid the risk, you can transfer the risk, you can do mitigation, exploit, share, enhance, and accept. Always remember there are two types of risks: positive risks and negative risks. Positive risks are also known as opportunities. So, four of these, which are avoid, transfer, mitigate, is basically part of the usual risks, or and accept as well, the last one. So, avoid, transfer, mitigate, and accept are basically a response strategy for negative risks, while exploit, share, enhance, and again accept is a form of a response strategy basically for positive risks or opportunities. Moving on. Group decision making criteria. So brainstorming, idea slash mind mapping, nominal technique, affinity diagrams, and multi criteria decision analysis are basically five names, a list of five names for the criteria of making group decisions. So again, something that you can learn and jot down in your brain dump. And whenever you see a question that pops up and tells you which of the following is not a group decision making criteria, you can kind of refer to your brain dump and check which of the option is not really a criteria of group decision making. So that is all that we had in this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked it. Let us know if there is any other list of common names that we missed out on and that you would want it to be a part of your PMP brain dump. Check us out on our social media, facebook.com/PMP Lounge and twitter.com/PMP Lounge. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And check us out on our website, pmplounge.com, your number one free resource for PMP exam and project management information and industry news. Thank you.